Hey guys, so earlier today, Hi-Rez or Titan Chaos explained the changes to crit for Season 9 in a Twitter thread. And if you haven't seen it yet, I will link it and I'll be kind of scrolling here for a little, but I had some kind of takeaways from this that I wanted to dive into and test on the PTS with sort of manipulating this system to your advantage and maybe a potential skill cap outcome. So let's get into that. So based on the new system and the numbers, one of the ideas is that you'd have this sort of golden bullet effect, as I've thought about it. So not critting increases your chance of critting. So therefore it would be in your favor to try to not crit as exiting a fight, whether that's on a camp or a minion wave, so that upon team fight or next fight you are more likely to crit. And this also applies to streaks, so once you do crit, it resets the balance. Having crit doesn't deter your chance to crit again on the first one, so you almost set yourself up for a little streak. And so this stems some ideas of how an assassin might abuse that with only one crit item like Mercury, or hunters maybe leave a fight just on a non-crit, or maybe two non-crits to try and get some favor in their next attack. Inversely, maybe with an item like Executioner, you might try to end on a crit streak so that as you start a fight, you burn your first couple attacks stacking Executioner and not critting, so that by the time you are critting, you're likely crit streaking. I think there's some pretty cool skill cap implications. So, and on top of that, you can get a feel for when you're about to crit streak based on when you're not. So you can try to time your stim if you're a stim hunter, for example, when you know the crit is coming. And yeah, I try to record some examples of this. So first I've got this Mercury example where I try to get 4 non-crits in a row with Deathbringer as my only crit item. And eventually I achieve this. And then I try to abuse a one-hit type build by charging up my passive, having Mannequin Hidden Blade, and then basically using this new system to know that my next hit is a very likely crit, and then I could potentially streak off it. And there's the effect of that. Just another example for good measure in this one. My next hit is not a crit, but it still lent itself well to crit streaking with only one crit item. So again, the one-shot effect is similar. I can kill them within the time of stun of my ult easily. This is a similar example, but for a hunter with only 2 crit items, how they might stack crit in their advantage, and I open with 2 crits off that. And then in this example, getting your crit streak out of the way with an Executioner type crit build, so that while you stack XC you're not critting, and then by the time your stacks are on, you're on a crit streak. Another thing I thought to test was, does this build on immune hits, so that your next hit is very likely a critical hit? And the answer is no. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts. I'm sure more stuff is going to pop out as we go. This is day 1, but there's definitely some potential optimizations here if the system stays as is. Maybe difficult or gimmicky in practice, but the idea of some control around crit is cool given to the player. So just timing your stim with your crit streak, or even starting a fight with an item crit passive such as Wind Demon or Shadowsteel Shuriken, you can kind of put the odds in your favor that you'll get to have those passives to start the fight. So anyway, thanks.